Palantir. You may have heard about Palantir before, but not like I'm going to share with you today. You see, while many focus on Palantir's relationships with governments, Palantir's stock this year being on a tear, what I want to talk about is Palantir's future. And what I want to talk about is how Palantir is using Gen AI to completely revolutionize its business in a real way with real results. And this is all a part of a series that I'm doing where I'm going about and I'm identifying businesses that are using AI to completely evolve their go-to-market strategy and pass on those benefits to other businesses and to consumers. And Palantir is one of the marquee firms doing that. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to share this with you. I'm going to share 5 reasons why you should also believe that Palantir is set to multiply its business. I'm talking grow 2, 3, 4, 5x from today's levels.
The 10x revenue we are going to get in the U.S. Over the next, in my view, next 5 years. But certainly what we forecasted for this year, it's really people saying, wow. I mean, and then you have, and then everyone talks about us on the earnings calls. So like when you see AIG or others saying, I believe I can dramatically change my business at a lower cost. You know, CEOs, CIOs, chief revenue officers, the whole group are like, get them on the phone.
And of course, we know what's going to happen with the stock once that becomes visible. Let's start with the first reason. Palantir has a powerful platform. In one word, I want you to learn about this because it is so informative for Palantir. That one word is ontology. They take an approach to understanding a customer's business that no other company does. They literally create a digital twin of the business so that they can understand the objects, which are the people, the data centers, the warehouses, all of the entities that a business has, and then mapping their relationship with each other. That's extremely valuable because then you can have really great predictions on how a move here will affect what happens in this department. That's a really big deal. And there is no other business that does it like Palantir. And that's why they have this great foundation. But that really isn't the core of this discussion. I needed to address it because their platform is world-class. Their foundry is world-class. However, the second reason is where we get into the good part. Palantir has used AI to revolutionize its business. Before they sell it to people, they use it themselves. Why is that valuable? Well, that's valuable because what they can ultimately do is productize that AI, and they did. They deliver something called AIP, their artificial intelligence platform. And that has fundamentally changed everything about the business. At least this is the third reason. Palantir has completely changed their flywheel. Because of this change, they are now able to take a process that took months, literally months, and they've collapsed that time frame into a matter of days, 20 days here, 4 weeks there, to go from 0 to a $20 million plus contract because of this AIP product that they have as a result of integrating Gen AI. And what they did was they created an AIP bootcamp.
A couple years ago, we were doing like 70, 80, 90 pilots a year. And now in the next year, we're going to do, 20 times that. Boot camps. And what's
the strategic advantage of them?
Well, everyone's claiming to do things, and we're showing them being done.
You see, instead of sitting with the client for months on end, what they're able to do is go through this boot camp experience so the client can see in real time what Palantir can do. AI is helping them deliver that value much sooner to help them see it. And they're doing it because by the end of this boot camp, the client will have working AI apps for their business. That is helping Palantir show the client what they can do, which is, of course, much better than telling them.
Different. What we observe is that AI is giving the American worker superpowers. Look at the nurses in the ICU who have more time to spend with their patients, less time munging around collecting the clinical notes to understand what care to deliver. or the factory workers in the submarine industrial base who get back 3 days of quoting a part to actually spend time solving problems in production. And perhaps the use case that I'm most excited about around Panasonic Energy, make electric vehicle batteries, actually being able to develop AI to train their workers to manage this exquisite high-end Japanese technology, where the background of the workers is casinos.
And we see that what's happened is that has led to this massive friction being reduced, and ultimately that has led to a massive influx in deals. And now their backlog is going through the roof, because what they're able to do is they're able to ease that throughput problem that they had. And that's something that the market wasn't aware of, because Palantir has been growing. Palantir is a hyper-growth company. Palantir's revenues are actually accelerating, but the market didn't appreciate that even though the business was doing great, it could have been doing better if they can get more clients through the door.
And this just makes our whole thing easier, because we do not have time or interest in spending all the time we did in the past starting from complete ignorance. We're starting from a much higher level, and then the higher level allows us to ratchet up.
Now we're at the fourth reason. Enterprises are hungry for AI, and Palantir is capitalizing on that. And that's why they've got more deals coming in. That's why the average deal size is much larger, because they're able to show the value. They're able to get to the proving the value prop much faster. So what they've done is they've collapsed the time frame it takes for a client to come aboard and scale up to 20 million and scale up to 3, 4, 5, 6 departments using the app.
Customers are getting started, then expanding in quick succession. A large healthcare company did a boot camp with us in December, and 5 weeks later converted to a 5-year, $26 million ACV enterprise agreement. A global bank started a pilot with us in Q4 2024, signed a $2 million engagement a month later, then expanded to a 3-year, $19 million ACV engagement 4 months after that.
That is powerful, and that's the reason that Palantir's revenue growth has been accelerating, and it's going to continue to accelerate for the fifth reason. Leadership plays chess. Palantir enables itself to step in between the business and the frontier models that they want to use, using that digital twin so that the business can have confidence in the data and no hallucinations, because Palantir deeply understands the technology involved in the LLMs, and they've been able to develop processes to ensure that the results that you get back are good to go in the market.
Historically, over 20 years, the stuff you're installing isn't going to work. What we're doing will work. It's not, we do it, we've built the software in a way maybe you wouldn't think it should be built, but that is the way it should be built, whether that's been on the battlefield, fighting terrorism, our AI product. And we go across the country and we say, you've installed a lot of things. You obviously see the power of AI. There's a question of what AI is. For some people, it's machine learning. For some people, it's algorithms. To some people, it's how do you actually extract value out of large language models. We will show you our product working in hours, and then you can actually compare it to what you would like to do.
So overall, Palantir is set to multiply because of this complete change in their flywheel, because they used AI inside of their business, and now they're going out into the world and they're selling it.